morning, fourth graders. This is Mrs. Nelson, and we are going to get going here. We're going to start doing the subtraction algorithm. Now, I've played with several different forms of the standard algorithm, trying to get you to show your work. I'm hoping this will be one of the very last ways that you could possibly show your work. All right, so let's get started with this. And down here, there's the drag and drop. You'll need to drag and drop your numbers up here. You'll also need to use the scratch pad. If you click on it up here and use the line tool to cross off numbers that you can't do anything with. So let's work through that so we know what that kind of looks like. Okay, so we have one thing that I have to tell you is that you have to click on and off the scratch pad you can't use the drag tool until you turn off the scratch pad. So you have to use the scratch pad in between. All right. So now I have 1. So I always start with the 1's place value, and I start at the top. So top to bottom, right to left. So we'll go right to left, top to bottom. So I'm going to start with the 1's place. And the 1's place is the 1 and the 7. So this is me on top. That's what I have in my possession. Okay, and this is somebody else. So I only have $1, and somebody wants to take $7 from me. Well, if I have $1, I have no money to give them. So I can't do anything with that $1. So I have to come over here and click the straight line tool and cross off the 1. Okay, and then I click on the selector tool. So I can't do anything with the 1. Because I can't give anybody $7 if I only have $1 to my name. So I look to the 10s and go, do I have anything to give them in the 10s place? Well, a 0 in the 10s means I have no $10 bills. So I can't even give them a $10 bill, so I'm going to cross that off. And I always cross off things so I know that I've looked at them. Okay? So I have nothing to give them in the 10s. So then I have to keep moving over to the 100s. And I do have something in the 100s. So I am going to take that 100 and I'm going to borrow it. Okay? I'm going to take that 100 and I'm going to give it to the 10s place right here. I'm going to give it to the 10s place. So now I have to click off of the scratch pad. So then I have to come over here, and if I give that 1 to the 0, it becomes the 100 that I give, I break it into 10 tens because 10 tens is 100. So I'm going to grab a 10 and put that up here if I can. It's not letting me drag it very easily. Okay, so I'm going to put that up here. Boom, on the bottom. So now I'm going to turn my scratch pad on so I can see. Okay, so I borrowed that, and then this 1 becomes a 0. So I have to grab the 0 and pull it up there and say that's 0 now. Okay, so the scratch pad says, okay, so that's 0. Okay, and then I have here nothing. So I come back here to the 1 and say, okay, now I can borrow something from the 10s place because now I have 10 tens. So now I'm going to cross off the 10 tens because I'm going to borrow against that 10 10. And if I borrow one of the 10s, it becomes a 9. So that becomes a 9. So I'm going to put a 9 up here in just a second, if I can. Sometimes the drag and drop tool doesn't work super awesome. There it goes. I'm going to turn it into a 9. Okay? And then I always scratch pad. So yep, I turned it into a 9. So I'm going to take so it became from 10 to 9. And I'm going to give that 1 that I took, and remember, turn off the scratch pad, and then I'm going to turn that, I'm going to give that 1 to that 1 group of 10, I'm going to give to the 1, so that 1 will then turn into an 11. So if I cross that off, it'll be like 9, and I gave the 1 group of 10 to the 1's place, and it became an 11. So now I can subtract 11, take away 7, okay? And that'll become 4. So I'll put the answer of 4 here. I gotta take my, always remember, take off your scratch pad. So 4 will get dragged there. And then if you look at this, so 9 minus 7, 9 minus 7, turn on the scratch pad so you can see the numbers. 9 minus 7 is going to be 2, so I have to come down here and grab the 2 and drag that in there. Okay? So then I have 0 minus 6. Well, I have no $100 bills, and somebody wants 6 $100 bills. Don't have it. So I'm going to have to take 1. I'm going to have to take 1 from... I'm going to have to take 1 from the 5. And that turns that into a 4. So it's going to become a 4. That 5 will become a 4. Okay. And that 0 will then become a 10. Because I give the 1 to the 0 and it becomes a 10 because one group of 1,000, oh, I grabbed the wrong number there, will become 10, because one group of 1,000 broken into 100s is 10 100s, so 10 100s. So then if I turn my, I will see that, okay, I also need to cross this off because I couldn't do anything with it. So that becomes 10. So I have now, I have in here, I have 10 minus 6. 10 minus 6 is going to become 4. So I'm going to put a 4 here. And then 4 minus 3 is going to become 1. So I'll put the 1 there. So the answer to 5,101 minus 3,677 is 1,424. And you could also show your carries there. Your borrows. You'll show your borrows. And everything will be golden. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know.